Dust and Resolve, Clash at the Outpost, written by Reuben White. Elias Morgan rode through the desolate expanse of the untamed West, his eyes squinting against the harsh glare of the sun. The dust of the plains swirled around him, carrying with it the whispers of 1,000 stories untold. With each mile he traveled, the weight of his past hung heavy on his shoulders, a burden he carried with the stoic resolve of a true cowboy. Dry Gulch lay on the horizon, a beacon of civilization in an otherwise lawless land. But as Morgan approached the sleepy town, a sense of unease gnawed at his gut. There was trouble brewing in Dry Gulch, he could feel it in his bones. Drawn by curiosity and a sense of duty, Morgan veered off the main trail and followed a winding path that led into the foothills. It was there, hidden from prying eyes, that he stumbled upon the Outpost, a cluster of ramshackle buildings nestled in the shadow of the rugged terrain. Smoke curled lazily from the chimney of a small cabin, and the sound of laughter drifted on the breeze. But beneath the facade of camaraderie, Morgan sensed something darker lurking just beneath the surface. He dismounted and approached cautiously, hand hovering near the hilt of his gun. As he drew nearer, he caught sight of figures moving about the outpost, their movements purposeful yet shrouded in mystery. Before he could react, a voice called out from the shadows, stopping him in his tracks. "Hold it right there, stranger." Morgan froze, his heart pounding in his chest. A figure stepped forward, clad in the attire of a fellow cowboy, his hat pulled low over his eyes. "You're a long way from home, cowboy," the stranger said, his voice rough and gravelly. Morgan met the cowboy's gaze, his jaw set defiantly. "I could say the same to you," he replied, his voice steady despite the tension crackling in the air between them. The stranger's eyes narrowed, and Morgan sensed the simmering anger beneath his stoic exterior. Tensions escalated as harsh words were exchanged, each man testing the other's resolve with the intensity of a rattlesnake ready to strike. But words alone were not enough to quell the storm brewing between them. With fists clenched and adrenaline coursing through his veins, Morgan braced himself for the inevitable showdown, a bare-knuckle brawl that would test his mettle and resolve in a battle of strength and willpower. In the fading light of the setting sun, amidst the rugged terrain and swirling dust of the western plains, Morgan and the outpost's leader faced off in a brutal fistfight. Their punches landed with bone-crunching force, each blow a testament to their resilience and determination. As the dust settled and the last rays of sunlight disappeared beyond the horizon, Morgan emerged victorious from the showdown. His body was battered and bruised, but his spirit was unbroken. In the aftermath of the brawl, a newfound understanding and respect blossomed between him and his adversary, a bond forged through the crucible of battle, stronger than steel and as enduring as the western sky. For Elias Morgan, the journey was far from over. But as he rode off into the sunset, the weight of his past no longer burdened him. With each mile he traveled, he carried with him the lessons learned in the dust and the resolve that burned bright within his heart, a true cowboy, forged in the fires of the untamed West. As Elias Morgan rode away from the hidden outpost, the echoes of his fistfight at sunset lingered in the air like the distant rumble of thunder on the horizon. The rhythmic cadence of his horse's hooves against the dusty trail provided a steady backdrop to his thoughts as he ventured deeper into the heart of the untamed West. The events of the day weighed heavily on Morgan's mind as he reflected on the confrontation at the outpost. He had faced danger before, but there was something about the enigmatic leader, Jeb Callahan, that had left a lasting impression on him. Beneath Callahan's gruff exterior lay a depth of character and resilience that Morgan couldn't help but admire, despite their initial clash. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the rugged terrain, Morgan found himself drawn back to the memories of his past. He had spent years wandering the vast expanse of the West, seeking redemption for sins long since buried beneath the desert sands. But no matter how far he rode, The ghosts of his past haunted him like shadows in the night. With a heavy sigh, Morgan urged his horse onward, determined to leave the past behind him and embrace the uncertain future that lay ahead. The trail stretched out before him like a ribbon of destiny, winding its way through the wilderness with no end in sight. As night fell and the stars began to twinkle overhead, Morgan made camp beneath the sprawling canopy of the western sky. The crackling of the campfire provided a comforting warmth against the chill of the desert night, and Morgan took solace in the familiar routines of cowboy life. But even as he settled in for the night, the events of the day continued to haunt his thoughts. There was a restlessness stirring within him, a sense of unfinished business that refused to be ignored. With a sense of determination burning bright within him, Morgan knew that his journey was far from over. The fistfight at sunset had been just the beginning, a prelude to the trials and tribulations that awaited him on the dusty trails of the untamed West. As he drifted off to sleep beneath the watchful gaze of the stars, Morgan felt a renewed sense of purpose wash over him like a cool breeze on a hot summer's day. For better or for worse, he was a cowboy through and through, and nothing could stand in the way of his quest for redemption in the vast expanse of the untamed West. If you are enjoying adventures in the Old West channel, hit the subscribe button for future posts. Until the next time, Ballyhoo.